So guys, a lot of you have recently started trading and many of you are also fascinated with options, right? Now, whenever we are starting any subject, whenever we want to learn something new, the first thing we try to do is that we look out for a good book in that particular area, right? So if you want to learn options, so typically what will happen, you will go to your friend or you will probably go to some website or some blog, or maybe you will watch some YouTube video which will tell you the top 5 books on options. So we pick one of those books and we start reading, and that's how we get started, right? Now this is a good approach, right? Reading books is fine. I don't have any problem with that. But there is one issue that I have seen consistently in every book that I have read on options, right? And that is something that I want to talk about in this particular video, because if you are someone who is starting out with options, there is one critical piece of information which is consistently missing in all the good books. Not just the books that are written by Indian authors, but all the Western authors also, they somehow never bothered to clarify that. So this is my video. This is very short video where I'm going to talk about that one thing which is missing in all those books. And I'm hoping that the real life experience that I have to share with you will help you in your trading journey as well. Alright, so with that said, let's talk about what do you learn when you pick up a book on options, right? So you will have all these different types of strategies. You will have buying a call, you will have bull call spread, you will have a selling put. So you will have all these different types of strategies, and you will go there and you will basically learn about this payoff diagram, right? So it will tell you that if you buy a call option, then this is what is going to be a maximum loss. This is where it's going to be a break even. And this is how much you will make in case the stock moves up in your direction. Similarly, for every option strategy out there, there is one payoff diagram that tells you in very clear terms, when are you going to break even, when are you going to incur loss, and when are you going to incur a profit. But the problem with these payoff diagrams, the problem with this overall approach of explaining these strategies is that what they are trying to do is that they are telling you this is the point A where you are getting started, and they are telling you this is the point B at which the journey will end, right? So if you are here, let's say 1 month prior, you take a trade, then point B is where basically the expiry will happen. So upon expiry, right? So upon expiry, what will happen, right? So they're talking about point A and they're talking about point B, but what they are missing is the real life experience of taking that trade, because the journey from point A to point B is not going to be a straight line, right? So the journey from point A to point B is extremely volatile. This is how crazy the journey in options can be, right? So what they are discussing is they are discussing about point A, they are discussing about point B. What they are not talking about is this journey. And this is where, people who read these books and when they actually try to implement that knowledge in real life, they completely miss out. They have no idea what's going on because they saw all these neat and clean payoff diagrams, but nobody told them how options behave in real life. So let me tell you right now, using this one quick real life example, that how options behave in real life, right? So take a look at this particular option right here, which is trading somewhere around 80 rupees, right? Now see how this option is behaving. From 80 rupees, it goes to somewhere around 90. Then from 90, it goes to 95, 98. Then it goes to 100, 112. And then it comes back down all the way again back to 80s, right? And this goes on and on and on, right? So this is the real life aspect of option that nobody talks about in any book, right? So you pick up any book out there, they will never talk about how options behave in real life between that point A to point B, what really happens. And the problem that happens is that people take a trade keeping the point B in mind, but what happens is when the options, let's say for example, that they have sold at, let's say 80 rupees or 90 rupees, that option, let's say, goes to 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 300 rupees sometimes. And that is the time when they start to think that, okay, for making, let's say 90 rupees or 80 rupees, can I risk 100 rupees? Can I risk 150 rupees? Can I risk 200 rupees? Can I risk 300 rupees? It doesn't make any sense, right? So the reward in this case is much lower than the risk involved. So that is exactly what the problem is, because if you take what you're seeing here as point A, I can tell you that tomorrow is expiry. Most of these options that you are seeing right here, they will go to zero at the end of the day tomorrow. right? So that is the point B. So I know that most of them will go to 0. But from now up until that time, how will these options behave? Will this 90 rupee option go to 200? Will it go to 300 also? Is it possible? It is absolutely possible. So that is why it's important to understand how options behave in real life, right? So going back to my suggestion, guys, if you are reading any book, which is fine, but remember that these books are only treating the end point. They are not talking about the journey of the option from point A to point B. So keep that perspective in mind.